Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about credit cards and how to correctly utilize them. Uh, I don't get this question too often, but at least twice a year, someone will ask me, hey, I just got this credit card, or which credit card should I get? And all of those things. So first, I'm going to start with what credit card should you get? Well, that depends on what you typically do throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the year. If you're someone who typically gets a lot of gas for their car, you might want to get a credit card with 2, 3, or even 5% cash back when you're going to fill up your tank. But if you live in a place like New York City and you take public transportation, or anywhere else like Boston, where you might be taking public transportation and you don't need a credit card with that specification, then you might want something like a credit card that gives you 3 or 4% cash back when you dine out, if you're someone who eats out a lot, or a credit card that has a lot of rewards when it comes to stuff like DoorDash or Uber, if you're someone who takes DoorDash or Uber often. So the first thing you want to look at is not how much cash back can you get, but what do I personally do on a daily basis, and how will this credit card best suit my needs and what I do personally, right? So for me, I love the Apple credit card, not because of the things that I do, but because of the cash that I get. It's actual cash. So I get to determine how I spend that money. I can put that back in my savings. I can put that in my checkings and use it towards other bills. There's a lot of the times where that extra cash from that Apple credit card allows me to never dip into my savings account. For example, if I know I want to keep my checking account at $1,000 and it's at 1,010, and I'm about to order some food that is going to cost me about 20 bucks, before I go and dip into my savings account, I'll check my Apple card and see how much cash do I have. Maybe I have $30 or $40 in there. I'm going to say, cool. Now I can order this food and I'll withdraw some of that Apple cash and put it back in my checking. Personally, I don't ever have to dip into my savings reserves. And so I think that this has definitely benefited me in the sense that, one, I manage my spending, of course, but having that extra cash in your Apple's credit card that you can actually cash out and put in your checkings account has benefited me tremendously. Now, when it comes to utilizing credit, credit is not free, all right? We want to understand that when we use our credit, we must have the money to replenish it. A lot of people get into the habit of, okay, let's say you have a $1,000 limit on your credit card and you only have 500 in your checkings account. All your bills are paid, but you then go and spend $1,000 on your credit card, and your excuse is that I get paid next week and it's $600. Do not spend money that you do not currently have. Whatever you have to spend on your credit card can wait, or you must negotiate. You must set something up to where you do it later. And the only reason I say negotiate is, let's say your car breaks down and the repairs cost $1,000 and you only have 500, nothing else. You must let the mechanic or whoever know that, hey, this is what I have. I need to be able to get to work. I need to be able to do these things. And then when I get paid, I will pay you gradually. For example, maybe you have to Uber to go to work. Maybe there's no bus lines or train lines. Maybe you have to carpool, get some help or assistance for the week. And then when you get paid, you still might be short $200. So now you're talking to the mechanic, you're getting deals. They might take it for 800, and now you can focus on having your car back, having no debt to repay, and now you can focus on other bills like rent and things like that moving forward. But you don't just agree to go into debt, right? You have to be strong, firm, and understand, okay, this is what I have, this is what we won't do, and how can you best assist me to get back on my feet? People want your money, best believe it, in any time, especially in times like this, in bad times. So ensure that you are not putting yourself in a hole because of a have to. There is no have tos. Trust me, if they don't do the work, somebody else will. So on that note, don't ever spend money you don't have. If it's not in your checkings account, do not spend it on your credit card. Second, credit utilization is very, very big. Typically, you don't want to be over 10% of credit card utilization, but definitely not over 30. And for a rookie person with a credit card, your limit is not going to be too much, maybe 5,000 max. And so that means you want to spend about $500 or less, right? You're not using your credit card for any or odd reason. What I did when I was 18, 19, and 20, well, I just paid off my phone bill, which was $40 a month. I didn't really use my credit card too often, but when I did, it was to buy breakfast when I went to work. And then I would pay it off every month, and it was typically less than $200 a month, right? My phone bill was 30 bucks. And then let's say breakfast every morning for a 5-day work week added up to about $200 a month total. So about 170 for breakfast, $30 for my phone bill. I was paying 200 total. I was probably earning around 2,400 a month at the time when I was 18 in college. And so that credit utilization definitely helped. What is also going to help you, not initially, but in the future? Well, when you have 6+ years of credit experience, that's going to start to benefit you more. For me personally, I've had about 5 to 6 years of credit now, and it just says fair on a term of length. So I don't look at that too much because I've had 780, 790 when I was purchasing properties. And trust me, I probably had about 4 years of credit at the time. So that's not truly a big deal. But you still want to understand that as long as you continue to manage your stuff, you will have better credit. Another thing that you want to look at is your spending habits. The great thing about having a credit card is that you get to see what you're spending. It breaks down for you. You can do the same thing on a debit card, but again, with my Apple card or even when I have my Citibank card, you get to look at the list of things that you bought every single day. I tend to look at my balance on my credit at least 3 times a week. So like every other day, I might look at my balance. I know nothing's changed, but I still just look at my balance because I just want to know, okay, how much do I have in my check-ins? How much do I have in my credit card? All right, what bills do I have this month? It's very meticulous for me. It's like I'm like a robot. Like I just have to know what's going on. Check your credit, you check your check-ins, and then you already know what bills you have. And so boom, 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 knocking it out of the park. That is always great to just have that balance. I put all my bills in like this box on my iPhone where I can just tap into each and every single one of them. It's like a little small portfolio where you have your checking account, you have your Apple Card account, you have everything. So I can just easily look at everything at one time, investment, and then boom, I put in like this financial tab and I just check everything all at once. So again, if you're doing something like that, if you're managing your expenses, looking at what you're spending, you're always going to be on the right track. All right, so I went over a couple of things, but what I really want to hone is do not spend more than you have. That is the most important thing. If it's not in your check-ins, do not spend it. It's not, oh, I got this big check yesterday, it's coming in 2 months or it's coming in a week. No, no, no. If you don't have it, don't spend it. Another thing is credit utilization. Don't overspend just because you want the cash back. All right. Oh, your credit limit is 1,000, you spend 1,000. Don't do that. Right. Ask for an increase in your credit after about 6 to 12 months so that if you know you're a high spender, you can spend a little bit more over time without it being too high of a credit utilization rate. I always ask for increases in my credit just in case, right? One day I'll be buying homes with my credit card and getting a ton of cash back. And so that's what I really look at. When I buy a car, I pay cash, but really I use my credit card and then I use my cash. So that's typically how I operate. A lot of the times, banks or car dealerships don't allow you to put more than 5,000 on a credit card. And so I might have to split it between multiple credit cards because I want as much cash back as possible. But if I can put all of it on my Apple Card, I definitely will, because with the Apple Pay, you get 3% back on $20,000, $30,000, and then I just pay it off because I know I have the money to pay that off. And so I get a little bit of cash after negotiating, after doing everything right, and no harm, no foul. I just was going to make that purchase anyway, and now I get a little bit of cash when I make the purchase, right? So that's how I look at things. And a lot of the times for like my fun and entertainment, I use Apple Cash to pay for it. I don't really like to use my own money to pay for it. So I pay for my essentials, things that I really need, and then that extra cash that I get might be $100 or $150. I can use that for fun. All right. A lot of people are like, how can you have fun with just $150? Well, I can definitely have fun with $150. All right. You go on a $40 date, get some Caribbean food, get some African food, whatever you like. All right. So learn how to manage your time, manage your money, manage your expenses. And definitely, if you just got a credit card, congratulations. Definitely monitor your spending habits and stay on the right track to financial freedom. Invest in your future by managing your money wisely. If you need any resources on how to manage your money and how to do those things, be sure to subscribe down below. Follow this channel, and I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.